Welcome everybody to this training, Whole Heart Marketing, Social Media Success Strategies. I'm Diana Morgan, Conscious Digital Impact Strategist and CEO of Whole Heart Marketing. And I'm so happy that you're here today. And welcome to the people who are here live, and then welcome to the people who are registered and going to watch the replay. If you have any questions, the benefit of being here live is you get to put your questions in the chat and I'll get to them, and I'll just hang out afterwards for any other questions. So to start, just want to give a little, who am I and what is Whole Heart Marketing? Whole Heart Marketing is a proven systems-based approach to authentic, heart-centered marketing on the internet to build continued, consistent, credible visibility and influence with strategic partners, clients, and followers, while leveraging your time and resources to generate consistent income and make a bigger impact. And that's what I have been doing for the past 17 years. And I'm very excited. I offer this training because I feel like there's so many new things happening with Facebook all the time, and LinkedIn, and pretty much everything I'm saying applies to all social media, but I do talk about Facebook a lot. And but you know that if there's anything different on a different platform, I will bring it to your attention. So feel free to put any questions in the chat. You can put where you're from, and there'll probably be some other people popping on as we get going. Here's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to learn how to increase your authentic online presence by 20 to 50% with free organic reach strategies. And that's using Facebook for free. That's not using the ads. Discover the missing link to your internet marketing success, and you're going to learn the essential elements of a monetizable online presence that will attract ongoing clients and referrals. And you're going to lead with an internet marketing strategy to grow your brand, position yourself as the expert in your field, and reach your ideal clients. So give me a yes or a hell yes or a something if you're excited about that. Okay, thank you. Okay, I like to always start by bragging, if that's okay. So this is my book, The Whole Heart Social Media Success Formula. Thank you, Rochelle. What to say, where to play, and how to win. Intentional social media for purpose-driven entrepreneurs. And I published this book this past June, and it's evergreen. So the strategies in here are just fundamental strategies of how to understand social media and how to use it to grow your online presence. But that's not really totally why I'm bragging. Here's why I'm really bragging. So these are my statistics from my book launch, and I'm going to highlight the things that I want you to notice. 17,697, we're calling it impressions, now they call it views. And here is 12,400 reach, and here is 7.4 thousand engagement. Okay, and so those numbers remained for quite a long time. And those numbers were free organic reach. Okay, so that is not paid. And how I did that was the strategies that I'm going to teach today. And again, I've been doing this for 17 years. Social media is not a get rich quick. It's a slow increase, and that's what you want to be doing, is using it to build relationships and referrals that eventually convert into clients. And my numbers continually range within, say, 5,000 to 9,000, depending on how many videos I do. If I don't do a lot of videos, it goes down. If I do videos and lives, it goes up. And you know, and what this brings me is, it brings me opportunities. It brings me speaking opportunities. It brings me collaborating opportunities. It brings me referrals from other people. These numbers keep me top of mind with the people that I want to be following me and the people that I want to follow. And I'm going to show you how to do that, so that when I got to the point where I was ready to launch my book, I actually sent a little message in Messenger to 100 people and said, you know, hey, so-and-so, I'm launching my book, X date. Would you be willing to share my book launch post? And maybe, you know, 60 or 70 of those people said yes. But guess what? That's how I got these numbers, is because I have that kind of relationship, because I do that for other people. I play with other people, and that's what we all do for each other. So So that's what hi, Jean Catherine, welcome. So here's the question that I want to ask you as we start out on this journey of learning how to do free organic reach and learning how to use social media. How do you show up? And this is, this is the truth room. It's only for you to look at it for yourself. How do you show up? Are you consistent? Do you show up occasionally? Do you show up excited? Do you show up with like, oh God, I know I should do this. Ugh, it's work. It's just this thing I have to do. Or do you show up energetically present? Because everything is energy. So we are connected to everyone energetically. Your goal on social media is to show up in a way that people experience you as if they were meeting you in person. And so if you're showing up and you're opening up your social media and you're like going out of your body and clicking on something and then you're in YouTube for an hour, or if you're doing I've fallen into Facebook and I can't get out, or if you're doom scrolling, or if you're just doing it because you don't want to do it, or if your VA is being you on social media, if any of those things are happening, people, maybe it's not conscious, but consciously or unconsciously, people perceive that. They perceive how you show up. What is your online presence? And that's what I mean. Like I like to say, bring your whole heart essence to your online presence. And so if you think about it, you also experience that from other people, but you don't even know it. And here's how it happens. You're on your phone or your computer and you're just scrolling and just scroll past it. You look at it, scroll past. And then all of a sudden you lean in and you click on something, or you stop to read something, or you just pause to look at it. And so notice what causes you to lean in, what causes you to keep scrolling. And that's usually what is the same thing that's causing your ideal clients to do the same. So, what is your intention on social media? What is your intention on social media? Is your intention new connections? Is your intention networking with existing connections? Is it referrals? Is it clients? Is it inspiring people? Is it educating people? Is it to find out what's happening? I hope that you're not using Facebook to get your news. If you are, I hope you're using 3 other sources to validate everything you're getting on Facebook. And is it to connect with family and friends? I was just reading this article yesterday that the truth be told, Mark Zuckerberg has finally admitted that, he used to say Facebook is, to connect the world. And he just admitted yesterday that that is not his goal on Facebook. Like, oh, really? We didn't know that. Hi, Liz. Welcome. So, so think about it for you. What is your intention? The internet is a 24/7 networking opportunity. So you have the opportunity to network, connect, build relationships with more people than you could ever imagine worldwide. So that's how I want you to think about the internet, because when I say to you that I want to encourage you to spend at least an hour a day on social media in 4 15-minute segments, and you go out of your body when I say that, I want you to keep in mind that that is the opportunity to connect and network with people. Okay. It's not, I don't want you spending an hour doom scrolling and watching YouTube videos, unless that's what you want to do. But for your work related, using social media to grow your business, 15 minutes 4 times a day, because then you're going to see who's online, when people are online, and you're going to start to connect, because the sooner you engage with somebody, the sooner you comment and they comment and you comment, the higher up you're going to get to be in the algorithms. So before we dive into these strategies, I just want to go through this. Most of you know, maybe you don't know, I do teach another whole program on, hold on, because Venetia, okay. I do teach a whole program on this, but I like to talk about it at least to make sure you know that, it takes more than just posting on social media to have an authentic and successful online presence. So I'm going to go through this pretty quickly, but know that this is how I help people to grow their business, which is all of these parts are important when you are using the internet. So you can't just use Facebook as your database or your instead of email marketing. So the very first step, and this is what we are going to talk about this in more depth today. The very first step is it is crucial that you're using a message that is using the words that your ideal clients would use to search for you, and using a message that is clear, because you have 2 seconds to engage people. And after 2 seconds, if you haven't engaged them, if they haven't become curious, they're gone. They're on to the next thing. So the very first thing, and if you think about it, the reason I put like get personal and get acquainted, it's like when you're meeting somebody for the first time. Okay, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to get personal with them, right? You're going to get to know them, and you're going to become clear about their message. And you want people to be able to get to know you and your business message on social media. So that's step one. If you don't start from the right place, you don't end up in the right place. Step two is get acquainted. This is where people get acquainted with you. And this is what I call it your plan. Some people call it your funnel, the F word. And some people just, call it all different things. But it's basically what are you going to offer as a free thing for people to get to know you? For example, this is my free thing. So people can get to know me, and they can get to know me in a way of how it would be to work with me. So because this is how I work with people, either like this or one-on-one. So if I offer a download or an ebook, people aren't going to get an idea of how it is to work with me. But if they come to this training, hopefully you get an idea of like, okay, I get who Diana is, and I can imagine how it would be to work with her. So and then you have a next thing and a next thing, however many things you want to have. But the free thing is really important, because if you're wanting to build relationships and referrals, you need to have something that is free, because A, everybody expects it. And B, people want to get to know you before they're going to pay you. And what happens is when you give really maximum value, then people think like, wow, if she gives this much value for free, I wonder how great it's going to be to work with her. And that's why you want to give something to let people know how it would be. So step one is your message. Step two, get acquainted, get personal, the plan. Step three is get connected and nurture the relationships. And this is your website and your email list. And if you don't have your own online presence, a website, and an email list, I like to say using social media is like chasing a flash mob, because they're on Facebook, and then they're LinkedIn and Instagram and Blue Sky and this, and you have to get them onto your list from wherever they are. For example, anytime anyone anywhere interacts with me, they're getting my free Whole Heart Marketing Report full of non-techie strategies in plain English to grow your online presence. And this is my blog. So everybody is on that list. So if Facebook goes down, or Facebook goes away, or my Facebook profile gets taken away, which we hear that more and more right now, I have a list. I'm not depending. Social media is just marketing. It's like if you were in a networking group and then that networking organization went away, you'd be fine. You just go find another networking group, or you'd go, but you would have people's names on your list. And it's the same thing with social media. It's a networking event. And if it went away, you would still have your list. So I can't encourage you enough to have your list and to have your own website, your own online presence that you have. I mean, like basically as much control as anybody can have. So your message, your plan, your container, which is your email and your website. Then you're going to think about, okay, let's talk about my social media campaigns to deepen the relationships and to build influence and to nurture. And step 5 is your heart, bringing your whole heart essence to your online presence, sharing your experience, your authenticity, building relationships, and sharing the transformation. And next, this is also super important, is knowing how to delegate. Okay, because like I was just talking to somebody yesterday. So I have had a done for you company for 17 years, or actually for 13 years. And I don't have it any longer, because what I decided is people like us, the kind of people that I work with, you need to know how to instruct an assistant to do your social media. Because if you just hire somebody off of, from anywhere, what happens is they're going to do what they do. You're going to say, I need help with my social media. And they may not have been working for the kind of client that you are. They may not understand your brand, your messaging. So you have to understand all of this whole heart path to profit so that you can direct your assistant to help you in a way that's really going to help you and not just be taking your brand off in a completely different direction. So this, again, this is a whole other program, but I wanted to bring it up because I think it's really important to understand that it's not just about posting and connecting on social media. So just to conclude this, here are the the quickest things that you can delegate to someone else so that you can have time to spend your hour a day on social media. You could delegate someone helping you find content. You could delegate someone scheduling and posting your content, not your content to be you, but your business and personal and business and promotional content. You could delegate your email marketing. And you could delegate, of course, your website stuff and your graphic design. And, I get some of you, not me, love Canva and you know how to do it and all that. But, as you go forward and you're growing your business, you only want to do the things that only you can do. So even if you can do Canva and even if you can do your website, you're going to want to spend your time branding yourself and building your online presence and have someone else do those things for you. So again, welcome to everybody who came a little bit late. And if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. For the people who are watching the replay, you can also put your questions in my social media, my Facebook group, Whole Heart Marketing with Diana Konkoff Morgan. Okay, so how many of you get on Facebook and you feel like this? Or you get on social media and you feel like this? Yes, I know. And it can be overwhelming. Okay, I'm going to change that slide really fast because it's almost painful to this. Okay, so I love this ship. I'm going on a cruise next week, so I particularly am excited about this. But if a ship is on a trajectory and you toward a destination and you shift the trajectory by 1 degree, the ship could end up on a different continent. And it's the same thing with your social media. If you don't start from the right place, then you end up on the wrong continent, and that is the continent where your clients are not. So the right place is the words. So before we dive into the words, I just want to talk for a minute about the Whole Heart Social Media Success Formula. So I talked about this a little bit, but I'm going to elaborate. 50% of the time that you spend on social media, you want to be branding yourself, building relationships, liking, commenting, sharing, connecting. Okay. So this is the thing you can't pay someone else to do. And I'm going to dive into this a little bit further in a little while of how you do this effectively. But this is 50% of your time. On Facebook, it's your personal profile. You're playing from your personal profile. So you're not doing Whole Heart Marketing likes your post. It's Diana Konkoff Morgan likes your post, because that has a totally different feeling. Energetically, if you think about it, my business likes your post. It's not personal, and we want to be personal on social media. Okay. And on Facebook, it's your personal profile. And then on your business, you're going to share your business. On LinkedIn, you just kind of have to divide it yourself. 50% of your time is you're connecting, liking, commenting, etc., following. And then the other 50% I'm going to talk about in a minute. So 40% of your time is to educate, inspire, and motivate. Each of you in your business has you don't know what you don't know. In other words, like you don't know what you don't know is, you don't know what you don't know about social media and how much time you're wasting doing things that don't work because you're just doing what somebody else is doing. Okay. And each of you has those. If you're in the health industry, it might be you don't know what you don't know about the products you're ingesting. Or if you're stressed in the stress industry, it might be you don't know what you don't know about how you're creating stress in your life. Whatever it is, that's the 40%. So it's not necessarily much of the how-to as much as it is the why is what you're sharing important? Why, what do they need to know that they don't know? And then 10%, oh, going back to the 40%. So on your personal profile, you can share that. You can share blogs. You can share a link off of your, to your blog. You can share your passion for your business. You can share how excited you were to have success with a client. You can share something exciting that's happening in your business. Maybe you're speaking about something. There's all kinds of things that you can share on your personal profile. Just don't put a bunch of links to somewhere. And you just use a few hashtags, and we're going to talk about hashtags in a little while. And then 10% is promote. And this is where you would promote your free thing. And on your personal profile, you can promote your free thing. But here's the deal. If all you're doing, like say you're like, oh, I know I should have played and hung out with people, and I know I should be educating, and oh, well, I'll just have this event coming up. I'll just post that. Then it's 100% promoting. Okay. So you want to be, the way this formula works is you have to do all the parts. And then you can do something promotional on your business page. I mean, on your personal page. You just don't want to be doing constant click here, click here, click here. And then on your business page and on LinkedIn, split it up. So that is the social media success formula. If you walked away from this class and this is the only thing you implemented, your social media would start to shift. But there's more. Okay, so back to the ship on the trajectory. You open up your Facebook, you open up LinkedIn, you open up whatever you're going to open up. And what do you say? You ask yourself, what should I say? But that's not the question. Here's the question. Here's another shift in your social media. Who are you talking to? That's the question. Who is that one person that is going to lean into your content? Who is that one person that's going to say, oh, Rochelle gets me. Venetia really understands my struggle. Who is that one person? That's how you're going to be successful on social media. Who are you talking to? How do you help them? What is the struggle? What is the offer? And what is the transformation? So to break that down a little bit more, think about, you have 2 seconds to engage people. If you don't engage people within 2 seconds, they're gone. They're like on to the next post. So you want to think about, who is your ideal client? Okay, so is it a male, a female? And, if it's everybody with skin or everybody who has stress or everybody, whatever, you have to think about age ranges. And the struggle. So for example, for each age range, there's a different struggle. There's the 30 something, the 40 something, 50 something, 60 something, 70 something, maybe 80 something, depending on what you're doing. So you want to shoot your arrow into the center of the bullseye and pick one ideal target age to start with, maybe 5 years. And also the age is going to determine where they are. Okay. If they're 45 to 55, they're probably on Facebook. If they're 35, 30, they're going to be on Instagram, which doesn't mean you don't do Facebook and LinkedIn, but you might want to be focusing more on Instagram. So think about, what are their goals? What are their aspirations? What's important to them? What are the things that are going to cause them to lean into your content and become curious and want more? So, number 2, how do you help them? What is the struggle? What is that thing that is going to tell them, she gets my pain? Because you want to share the struggle. You want to share what is the challenge. And sometimes there's a gateway challenge, and then there's the real challenge. Like, we all know that many of our clients, they think something is the problem, but that's not really the problem. That's called the gateway problem. And then this is the real problem. So you want to think about, what is the struggle and what are the gateway problems that you can talk about. This is the you don't know that you don't know what you don't know. For example, did you know that by the time you get a headache, your body is so much more stressed out than you could even imagine? because people think like, oh, I must be stressed, I have a headache. But the headache is so far beyond the stress point of the body, but people don't know that. And so the headache is like, that's a serious symptom of stress. So most people don't realize that. So that's what I'm talking about of the gateway problem. Okay, so you want to know, who are you talking to? What is the struggle? And what is the transformation? Because you want to share both. You want to share the struggle and you want to share the hope, the transformation. So they feel like you could help them. And using the words that they would use to describe their pain and their struggle and the hope that they would want. So again, if you just implemented this, when you open your social media, asking who am I talking to versus what should I say, and really thinking about that one person that you are talking to, it's going to change the whole tone of your social media. It's going to change the whole energy of your social media. Okay, put a yes in the chat if you feel like you already got a good nugget for today. Nobody got anything yet? Oh, okay. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, good. Okay, I'm going to keep going. Okay, so you know what your message is, you know who you're talking to, how you help them, what's a transformation. You have a list, which we don't get into. That's another program I get into. Your list is maybe it's a newsletter, it's a blog, it's a drip campaign, it's somehow staying connected. And then now you are, what should I say? Okay. Now that you know who you're talking to and you have an idea of this person, now let's start thinking about what should I say? The expression of your message. And this is where we pause for a moment to make a decision. Okay. Each of us has to make a decision about what our social media is about. It is very tempting right now to jump on the politics bandwagon or jump on the venting bandwagon or the angry or whatever the thing is. And you have to decide for yourself, who am I going to be? And not to be in denial, not to be superficial, but how do you want to express for yourself how you experience what's going on right now? Me, I choose to come from a place of hope, not denial, but hope. Real and hope, but I'm not going down the religious or the political rabbit hole. And again, each person gets to decide. But if you're going to be putting all of this time and energy and money into growing your online presence, you have to think about that, because if you post things that are super activating, but they're not activating in alignment with your message, then what happens is you get all this content on your social media and all these people commenting and all this toxic energy that just takes all the energy away from what you've done. So it's a sad thing, but you have to decide. And to be honest, I'm going to be totally brutally honest right now, because this is the honesty room, is, Facebook is not for politics. And when you post stuff that is political, many people are getting their profile deleted and scrubbed and posts hidden. And so for me, I'm like, yes, I could say I'm not going to be on Facebook anymore, but there's still 4+ billion people there. And so instead of throwing the baby out with the bathwater, I am just using Facebook for connecting. For it's still an opportunity to network and connect. I really want to encourage you to not throw the baby out with the bathwater. Now, if you want to do politics and that kind of conversation, Threads is a good option. If you also want to do it, you could do it on Substack. There's a lot of smart people on there sharing some really smart things, if that's what you want to do. I encourage you to stay away from politics on Facebook. I'm just going to be blunt about it, because, and if you get that message on your Facebook business page that says your profile is violating the terms of service, blah, 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 don't click on it. Okay. It's a scam, and don't click on it. Just ignore it. You could delete it, but I'm afraid to even touch it to delete it. I just ignore them. Okay. Now, reach versus engagement. So a lot of times people are like, well, nobody's seeing my social media. Well, here's the thing. Even if people aren't liking, commenting, or sharing or anything, it doesn't mean they're not seeing it. So know that people are seeing your social media, and keep that in mind, because every single thing you do leaves a digital footprint. So keep in mind that people are seeing your social media, okay? And act accordingly. And again, think about your brand and think about your intention on social media. So that being said, marketing is about inspiring people to take action on your expertise. Okay, so that's what marketing is. It's not sales. Social media is not a sales platform. It's for marketing. It's for inspiration, education, building relationships. So what do you inspire people to do? What is your core message? What is your social media about? I want you to think about your social media. So for example, everything that I share, personal or business, everyone that I like, comment on, and share content from, everyone that I engage with is in some way an expression of my brand, my message. Okay, so I'm really careful. If I'm sharing humor, it's appropriate humor that is in my brand. Now, not to say that I don't have a little separate other group of people that I share some other things with, but on my social media, I'm sharing inspiration, I'm sharing hope. Like, so for example, here's my core message. My business, and many of us, our business and personal core message overlap. So my business core message is share your gifts. Your work is important. Getting your message out is what gives you the transformation, the hope, satisfaction, and fulfillment of your purpose. Get your message out to heal the planet. Your voice matters. So everything I share is about that in some way. And then also my bigger universal core message is about love and compassion, hope, loving communication, sharing your heart, healing the planet. So I can share all of those things and be very real about what's going on in the world and not feel superficial and not go down the political rabbit hole. And that's what I want to encourage you to do. And your voice matters and your work matters. So I don't want you to abandon social media because I want you to be out there doing the work, the very important work that you do, and not let yourself be silenced by the negativity. So now that you know who your ideal client is, you know how you help them, you know what you offer, you have a list, and you have explored your expression, what you're going to say, and you know about bringing your whole heart essence to your online presence. Now let's talk about sort of like okay, now what, Diana? What's the plan? So the very first thing you're going to do is you're going to optimize your profile and your posts. You're going to go through all your social media platforms and you're going to make sure that your profiles are current, that they're up to date, that they are an accurate expression of your work, your values, that your picture is current, your Facebook profile picture, that your cover photo is something on your personal profile. I want to encourage you to have a cover photo that's not like a flyer or a call this number, but it's like something, it's an expression of you, of your brand, but it's not super salesy and promotional. On your business page, yes, that's fine. So that's the very first thing you're going to do is make sure your profiles are current, because the next thing you're going to do is, and again, I do this about once a month. About once a month, I go into all my profiles and make sure everything is how I want it to be. If you have links in your profiles, make sure they all work. You know, you could be sending people to a page on your website that's not even working or something. So the next thing you're going to do, this is my exercise that I recommend to every single person I ever talk to. Pick 5 people a week to play with from your personal profile on Facebook. And if it's LinkedIn, it's from your personal LinkedIn. So who are these people? They're active on social media. If for this game, they have to be active. And I like to call it a game and playing because I feel like it puts us in the right mindset. Okay, so pick 5 people. Maybe they're active networkers. They offer a different service to a similar target market, or they offer the same service, but you each have sort of like, you offer different aspects of the service. So you're offering something different to the same target market. And you have similar messages in your similar values in your messaging, so that you want to share each other's content. So where do you find these people? You find them on your own social media platforms. Okay, so you find them, pick your friends. Who are some people that you haven't played with in a really long time? You have friends that on Facebook that you're connected to that you're not even seeing their posts. This is how you start seeing people's posts, is you start playing with people and then you start seeing their posts. Okay, so pick people that are in your groups. If you're in a networking group, go in that networking group and see who you want to be playing with. And what do you do with these people? You're going to be liking, commenting on their page, sharing their page, getting to know them. It's the same as if you went to a networking event in person. What do? You get to know people. You know, you check them out, you check out what they do. And if you go to an in-person networking group, like I go to eWomen once a month, so I connect with all those people on my social media because it's a way to deepen the relationships. It's a way to take the relationships to the next level. Here's what you don't do. You don't want to paste your whatever in their messenger, like a free thing or invitation to anything, until you get to know them. Don't even ask them to like your business page. Get to know them, and then you can invite them to like your business page, or you can invite them to a networking thing or your free thing or whatever. But first, just get to know them. And how you do that is by liking, commenting, sharing, and caring. I like to say caring, which is connect, acknowledge, respond, and engage. So in other words, build the relationships. And then, you'll start to, what'll happen is you're going to start to like what is showing up in your newsfeed, because their content's going to show up in your newsfeed, and your content is going to show up in their newsfeed. The other thing that's going to happen is you're going to start being excited about your notifications, because your notifications are going to be from people that you care about and that you want to be playing with. So doing this for 30 days is going to totally train your newsfeed so that your newsfeed is going to be what you want it to be on all of your platforms. This works on all platforms. Okay, so make sure if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. And now my inner geek is channeling for a moment. Okay, in 2025, the algorithm changed. Maybe you've heard about this or not. And it's not just Facebook, okay? It started with Facebook, but it's all social media. What they're doing is they're prioritizing interest-based content instead of friends and followers. And this is actually really great. It's really sort of equaling out the playing field, because now you can reach more people who are non-followers and non-friends by having the right content, by the words that you're using. So SEO, search engine optimization, is more important than ever, because you're using those words to attract people. You're still going to get people from liking, commenting, sharing, and picking the 5 people a week. But what happens with the 5 people a week, it's like some people will play, some people won't. Pick another 3 or 5 people, some will play, some won't. And you just keep doing this and it will build momentum. But in addition, using the right words and really this is where that 40% educate, inspire, and motivate really comes in, because using the right words is going to draw people who may not have seen your content because they're not followers and they're not friends. So on your business page and, LinkedIn, all of it, Facebook pushes content to non-followers based on their interests and engagement. I know I'm saying Facebook here, but it's LinkedIn, it's all the platforms. If your content is engaging and you're getting followers, likes, whatever, then the platforms will recommend you to people who don't follow you. Of course, this is Facebook. Reels and video content are getting the most visibility, and on this new interest-based feed. So I'm actually doing a video challenge right now in my social media Get It Done classes, because video is the thing. How many of you are doing? I know Jean Catherine is, but how many of you are doing video? Okay, you don't have to put that in the chat. So on your personal profile, if your personal profile is set to public, and again, this is part of that decision, what is your intention on social media? Because you want your personal profile, you want your posts to be public. Then you're going to reach more people beyond your friends. And this means when you use your personal profile strategically, which means not posting a bunch of promotional stuff, but, posting about your passion for your business and educating people, you're going to get more organic reach. So the best strategy moving forward is for your business page, focus on short form reels and videos, engaging posts, and content that sparks conversation, relevant polls, questions, and shareable posts. Okay. And then for your personal profile, consider using Facebook's professional mode. So you can actually switch to professional mode. And I'll show you that at the end. But if you do use professional mode, you still cannot use it as a business page. It's still your personal profile. It's just that you can see statistics and you can boost posts, but you still are, and you'll get more followers and maybe you'll get some marriage proposals too, but you still want to be using it as a personal profile. And for your groups, if you have a public group, then your posts may also reach non-members based on engagement and based on the words you're using. So to summarize, 50% or more of the content that you are seeing now in your news feeds is from people you never know, that you never heard of, that the platforms are recommending to you to see. And if the algorithm thinks a person is interested in the content, it's more likely that it's going to show up in their feed. So keep that in mind, because that works for you as much as it works for other people. It works for getting your content into other people's feeds. It's all about, the social media platforms are search engines. So it's all about the words. So it's more important than ever to create content that is a reflection of your message and your brand, and using the words that your ideal clients would use. So here are some things that you could be doing now that you updated all your profiles and you have everything updated. Here are some other things that you could be doing to get more free organic reach. Responding promptly to comments, messages and mentions gets higher reach. That's where the 15 minutes 4 times a day comes in. And again, keep in mind, if you were getting referrals and clients and speaking gigs and other collaborating opportunities, wouldn't it be worth it to be on 15 minutes 4 times a day? Not just to watch videos and share pictures of kitties. Okay. Asking questions to encourage conversation, like, what's your biggest challenge? I'm hosting a free masterclass, etc. The random ones are fine. I have not experienced those as being that beneficial. I feel like they just feel like engagement bait. I don't usually answer them. But if somebody asks a question that I feel they really want to know and it's really in line with their business, the way they help people, I will participate. And some people will answer those random questions, but I'm not that person. I don't know. Liking, commenting, and sharing people's posts, lifting people up. This is part of the 5 people a week. That is going to give you more reach because other people are going to see that. Okay. And showing appreciation for your audience engagement. When people like, comment, and share your stuff, thank them, and take it to the next level and ask them a question. So collaborating with influential people in your community and your industry is powerful. Partner with influencers in your niche. Collaborate with complementary brands. This comes into play, like you've heard of people doing posting parties where a bunch of people get together and they all post on each other's content. Okay, so again, back to the 5 people. You want to if you're going to do and put your time in on the posting parties, you want to pick people who are active, people who are potential strategic partners, people whose message is in alignment. Okay. Just doing those posting parties, if it's not intentional, it's not going to benefit you that much. This is another one of those things that people just think if they do that, then they're going to get more, but it has to be in alignment with your message and your words. Let's see, co-create content to reach a broader audience, doing joint videos with other people, interviews. Maybe you're not ready to do a podcast, but you can interview experts in your field. You can interview other people. Share and promote each other's content and partner with people, as I said, in your lane. People who's in your brand. Post high quality content regularly. Okay, please don't ghost social media. Even if you're going to show up 3 times a week, I say, okay, Venetia, let's connect. I would love to connect with you. Okay, thanks for being here, and you'll get the replay. Okay, share valuable and informative and engaging content. Maintain a consistent posting schedule. In my perfect world, you're posting at least 1 post a day, 5 days a week. But, and don't forget, you can share other people's content. You don't have to share your own stuff every day. Use a mix of content types, articles, videos, infographics, focus on providing solution, answering questions, and 10% promote. Here is a great screenshot of what to share. Share testimonials, lift other people up, share humor and memes that are in your lane, inspirational quotes, heartwarming stories, educational content, personal milestones and achievements. These are all great things to share. User-generated content, authentic content that is an expression of your brand. Using stories. Stories are they're at the top of the feed. When you share through stories, you're at the top of people's feed for 24 hours. So that being said, if you are going to share stories, make sure you also share the content in your feed because otherwise after 24 hours, it's gone and you don't want to be missing out. So you can use Instagram and Facebook stories, share behind the scenes, promote events and products. It doesn't really affect the algorithm that much, but you are at the top of everyone's feed while your story is being shared. Use interactive features and polls. Here is a great way to use storytelling instead of selling. So you could share a personal story about how a product or service helped you rather than buy this. So you share your story and then you could say, DM me if you're interested. Direct message me if you're interested. Another one is, instead of sign up for my coaching program, you could try, I remember when I struggled with, for me, social media. Here's how I changed that. And now that's what I do to help others. DM me if you want to know what changed or something like that. So that you're I still use some links in my posts, like click here, but I also do a lot of DM me instead of when you use a link, click here to whatever, you do get lower in the algorithm. But like I said, I still do it sometimes, and sometimes I do DM me if you're interested. I do both. Do live sessions, host live sessions, use live streaming on Facebook. LinkedIn, you have to use a streaming service like StreamYard or something, but engage with your audience in real time. Host Q&A sessions, like I do that. I'll host Q&A. I'll also do lives where if someone asks me a question, I'll do a live to answer the question. And promote your live sessions. We've been working on all of this video in the social media Get It Done class, which I'm going to talk about in a few minutes. But also make sure to download your videos, because Facebook doesn't save the videos anymore, but also, you could share them across all platforms, and you want to not share a link, but you want to upload them as an MP4. Because so for example, LinkedIn and Facebook do not do well with links from YouTube. So you want to upload as a MP4. So if you did your videos on YouTube, then upload them to the other platforms. If you do them on Facebook, same thing. Okay, and hashtags. Okay, so hashtags are even more important than ever. Hashtags are to social media what keywords are to Google. So when you use hashtags, number one, it helps connect your posts with topics through your audience. It allows users to search for you by hashtag, and it allows the platforms to know who to show your content to. So in terms of this new algorithm, hashtags are crucial. So on Facebook, 5 or 6 hashtags. Same thing on LinkedIn. You could use more. You could use 8 or 10 on Instagram, but a couple things about hashtags. You want to make sure your hashtags are related to the content you're posting. And you want to make sure to switch them up. Like I have 20 different hashtags, and I'll use some one time I'll use different ones, because when you use the same hashtags every time, it sort of it triggers the bots to think it's spam. So a hashtag strategy that I've recommended is you share maybe like two hashtags for what the content relates to, two hashtags for the problem to be solved, and then two hashtags for the audience. So for example, hashtag internet marketing, hashtag social media. The problem would be hashtag get more reach or hashtag get more clients. And the audience might be entrepreneurial women or purpose-driven women entrepreneurs. So I would use a couple of each. And this is something you could totally plug into ChatGPT and get your hashtags. I love ChatGPT. And then, just finally, and we already talked about this, strategy by optimize your post timing, which means if you are going to be on 15 minutes 4 times a day, you're going to know who's on and when they're on, and you're going to be connecting with people live. And again, back to it's the 5 people. So picking the people who are active, it just sort of magnifies and amplifies your impact on social media. So either you can share or put one thing in the chat that you're going to implement from today. I'd love to have some shares if anyone wants to share. Jean, Catherine, are you sharing? Were you looking for a... Oh, you don't have to.
It's okay. I was just writing. I want to create, I like the idea of creating hashtags using ChatGPT.
Oh, yeah.
Is such a great tool for speeding things up. It doesn't take the place of my language and like everything else. I was just hearing somebody say yesterday on chat, you have to be careful because ChatGPT knows who you are.
Right.
So it's gonna kind of like work with you as like it's your best friend and tell you what you want to hear. So but at the same time, just using it intelligently, it's a great tool.
So along those lines, this is down a little bit of a rabbit hole, but I actually took a master class, like a whole master program in AI. And one of the things you can do is you can train your ChatGPT to not just tell you what you want to hear, and to be, to present all perspectives and to be objective. So you can put prompts in to train ChatGPT to not tell you just what you want to hear.
Oh, yeah. That's good news. Oh, one other question I had. Did you say that Facebook, and I've been noticing this the last couple lives I've done, that it doesn't have the option of continuing of saving it. So is there then a time limit and then they're going away now?
You can save it, but it only saves for 30 days. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yes. What you want to do, I'm sorry. Let me come back. I basically, I don't know if it has the capacity to save anymore or not, because I always just automatically download.
Okay.
I never saved mine. I always downloaded them. So yeah, you can save them, but I guess that is gone now, but you have to download them.
Okay.
And what I do is that, I recommend to people to really take the time to, to create videos that you would want to download and repurpose.
Yeah.
Okay. Didn't know about switching hashtags. Good. Thank you, Rochelle. Okay. So I'm going to take a couple minutes, and I would love to share what's next for anybody who feels this is right for them. If that's okay. So the bottom line is it takes 3 components to have successful social media results. It takes more than just posting and playing on social media to have ongoing clients. It takes consistency, authenticity, and a plan. So I have created my social media Get It Done Now classes. These are live Zoom virtual trainings. And they are to learn the most powerful strategies and discover and get the most, how to get the most reach and visibility. The way it's set up is it's a 30-minute class and the replays are all available. And once you sign up, you can get all the replays. So we started in January, and each replay is labeled, but we do also go through them again, so you're not missing anything. So we have 30 minutes of class. Then we have 45 minutes of guided, supported implementation to get this done and to ask questions. And, it's about stop wasting time and money and get out of confusion and overwhelm and learn what's working now. And everybody is in different places with their social media. So it doesn't matter if you're a beginner or if you're not a beginner, it's a way to stay on top of everything that's happening with social media. We focus on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and YouTube. The monthly themes, every month we do a different theme. So April, we did a video authenticity month, and we're actually getting ready to do this challenge next week. And we are going to do this one again. And all the videos are in the library. May, we're doing content clarity and message month. So we're going to really work on your message and clarity. And, I'm bringing in my SEO expertise to help with that. And then June is going to be editorial calendar boot camp. So we're going to really work on your editorial calendar, going forward in the rest of the year. So what you get is you get expert answers to your specific questions, actionable tips to implement right now, confidence and clarity, connection with a sort of community, and accountability, so that every week you're going to be getting your social media done. I'm going to put the link in the chat. It's right here. So it's $77 a month. Oh, it's Tuesdays from 9 to 10:15 a.m. I didn't put AM there, but it's 10:15 a.m. It's $77 a month or 3 months for $147. And if anybody, I didn't put this in the offer, but it is on the website. If anybody would like one-on-one, I do have a special going right now where you get 3 months and 3 hours of one-on-one training with me for $697, which is a killer deal. And I have payment plans for anyone who needs it. So if you're like, oh, I want to do this, but you don't know what to help, that's for those people. So you're going to walk away with authentic, heart-centered networking strategies on social media, the most current ways to build influence, credibility, and visibility. And you're going to know which strategies are going to get you more than just likes and comments and shares. Going to increase your income and set yourself up for maximum success. I would love to have you join me. You also are going to get an email from me with this information, but I'm also going to put the link right here. And I'm making another special offer, which is whether you sign up for 1 or 3 months, you get an extra month added. So if you sign up for 1 month for $77, you get 2 months. If you sign up for 3 months, you get 4 months. And if you miss a week, as I mentioned, everything is recorded. So I would love again to have you join me. Oh, the bonus is good until tomorrow at midnight. So you have to sign up by tomorrow at midnight to get the bonus. So I am going to stop the share here and see if anybody has any other questions. Questions, comments? Yes, Rochelle.
I think since I'm not, in the past, I haven't been big on social media and have avoided it, and you know that story. Um, so now I'm getting kind of confused because there's, your Facebook personal, then there's your Facebook business, then I've got my LinkedIn that's always been personal slash business,
Right. Yeah.
but now there's the business page for
Right.
LinkedIn. And then it's like, well, no, you post as yourself personally, but then I'm confused about how do I use these business pages?
Okay, so
LinkedIn especially, because that's where I'm really focusing and starting on.
right. So the LinkedIn, I recommend that you pretty much use your LinkedIn as half personal and have your business, as I mentioned, where you have you 50% personal, and then you have 40% educate, inspire, and motivate, and 10% promote. And it's sort of, you could go a little bit more towards a business tone, but the company page is a whole different thing on LinkedIn. And I really recommend that you be completely up, and the company page on LinkedIn is not like the business page on Facebook. Okay, they're not the same. And so I recommend that you be up and running on LinkedIn, and, you know, really get your connections going, and really get your 40% educating, inspiring, motivating, and your 10% promote. Get all of that going. And you can definitely post your 40% and your 10% on your company page. You could just be posting on there. But it's LinkedIn is it's that company page is set up more really truthfully for a company. Whereas Facebook's business page is sort of like your Facebook website, because you, like on LinkedIn, you can do more business on LinkedIn on your personal, like they don't even call it a personal profile. They just call it your LinkedIn profile. You can
Right.
do more business on LinkedIn. If you do that kind of business on your Facebook personal profile, you are going to get dinged. So does that make sense?
Yeah, so I mean, I set up a LinkedIn um, business page or whatever they call that.
Company page,
But
right?
I mean, I've not done anything with it
Yeah,
because
I wouldn't put too much energy into it. I would just, if you, like I said, if you want, you can just post the business stuff that you're posting from your personal page onto your company profile. But where you're really going to want to do your organic free reach on LinkedIn is with your LinkedIn profile, your main profile, not your
okay,
company page.
and then just use those same posts for my Facebook
Yeah.
personal and
Not personal, because some of your LinkedIn posts might be a little too businessy for your Facebook personal
okay.
profile.
Okay, that's
Because your
great. That
personal
helps me get
profile on Facebook, you're going to want to spend your 50% of your time connecting with other people and sharing things that are, you know, more personally branding you.
okay. All right, got it. Thanks.
Good. Good question. Any other questions? Yes.
Groups. I I want to make sure this is accurate, that once a group is private, you can't change it back to public.
Correct. Because anybody who joined it had the expectation of it being
Yeah.
private. And so
Yeah.
that's why you can't change it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I do
And
recommend having a private and a personal, a private and a public group.
so right now I have two private groups, neither of which are exactly lively.
Yeah. I mean, it
haven't-
takes a lot to keep a group active.
Yeah, and so I was wanting to turn one of them into public, and I did some research on that a bit ago and saw that that's, so can you, so I could go in and decide which one I want to hide or just like let go of and then create a public one.
Right. And then what you could do is you could announce in that one, hey, everybody, I'm creating a public group. I would
Yeah.
love to invite you to it. Here's what we're going to be doing, you know, talk it up. And one of the ways to reactivate the people in a group, if you're really going to start being consistent, you have to like commit, and you're going to start being consistent, is like you do a message and you kind of do it at everyone, and you go, hey, everybody, you know, I want to re-welcome everybody to the group. I have some new ideas of what we're going to be doing, and if
Yeah.
you do at everyone, you know, please introduce yourself, and then you start tagging people, like, you know, start from the newest and then start tagging people. It will reactivate, but if you do that and then you don't follow up, it's a waste.
And would you recommend not doing a, because sometimes I've had things going on in the, I try to get people, I kind of bounce back and forth between profile and the group to try to build the group.
Mhm.
And sometimes that works. And these are for things like a gratitude, quote unquote, challenge or that sort of thing. And so what do you say about like doing something that's not salesy per se, because it's not really inviting them into an offer, but it's an invitation, like to a 21 days of gratitude. Join me for
Yeah.
21 days of gratitude. Would you recommend doing that from the profile then?
From the, you mean the, what do you mean from the profile?
From the personal profile.
And not in your group?
Right.
Here's what I would do. I would I would invite people. I would do it in a public group. I would invite people. This is what I am going to do with my next video challenge. Do it in a public group. I would invite people from wherever to join the group. I would get their email address so that I can send them a follow-up email each day about it, or whatever, how many you're going to send. Because here's the thing, Jean Catherine, you want to get people on your list.
Yeah, exactly.
So you don't ever want to, especially a 21-day thing, you don't ever want to put a ton of energy into something and not get people on your list.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you just, what people do is they'll just be like, well, I'll get in my group, but that's not your list. And then if you put all that effort and you get people in a group, and then the group Facebook, something happens, you've lost it all.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
So that's what I would do.
I will.
All right.
Good,
Well, thank you all for being here, and thank you for everybody who's watching it, the replay. And I will look forward to hearing from you. Remember that the offer for the extra month in the Get It Done class is that's good until midnight Friday. You're welcome, Liz. Glad you were here. And I will see you all soon. Take care, and you'll be getting the replay. Bye.